Alright, I'm just getting the stream set up. Restream is proven to be the best tool by far. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so this is day 3 of 100 days of live streams. And this is what I'm going to commit to over the next 100 days. I guess I have 98 days left. I'm doing this content challenge with the Futur Pro group, and it's kind of challenging to do my project and the content at the same time. So I had to find a way to combine them. And I think the best way to do that is just to live stream me working on this project. And meanwhile, I get to document the entire process of creating this product that I'm working on. So if you've ever been interested in software and how it's developed, you're going to see from scratch some of the raw work that goes into it. So this is Bonsai LMS. We've been trying to get a version up and running for the past, this is our 3rd day. Yesterday was kind of a big failure because I spent the entire day running into the exact same bug that I'd hit on the first day. And so I didn't really get any further, other than knowing that if I reran the entire project from scratch and did everything correctly, it still was running into this bug. And I did not understand this bug until this morning. So let me kind of walk you through where we left off yesterday. Actually, I don't know if this is going to solve the bug. I'm giving it like a 80% probability maybe that I've got it figured out. So we're provisioning our staging server. If I pull up our local development site, it should be up and running. I do believe. We had our local site up and running. We got that up the first day pretty easily. And then we ran into this bug the first day as well. This is during provisioning of the staging server. We have task checking essentials. Let me make myself smaller. So we have task checking essentials. This is saying no package matching. Oh, we actually have one that's higher up here. No package matching. No. Okay. No package matching Python software properties is available. Failed. Python software properties. So I don't have it pulled up, but I'd run this in verbose mode so that I could really see what was going on, and I didn't really get any additional information. I think I need to vagrant up. Yeah, I do. So I googled around, and I couldn't really find anything on this, especially not on the Roots forums. Anything related seemed like it was maybe a bug that had been fixed already like years ago. And I'm so confused because Bonsai shouldn't break if nothing gets updated. And I hadn't updated it in 2 months until just the other day. And I definitely was not updating anything that was vital to the functionality of it. And so that really confused me why something would break. And So that's why on day 2, I respun up the server from scratch, did everything from scratch. And my, I guess my hypothesis was that if I did everything perfectly that time, because the first time I had accidentally missed a couple steps, then went back and did it. So I thought if I start from scratch, then it would all work. I spent all yesterday doing that. And at the end of the day, I ran into the exact same bug. So I started digging around. I was finding some forums on Stack Exchange that were on unrelated stacks, but I thought that I could probably apply them. So I found that this Python software properties package, which is part of Ubuntu, part of the server, then I found that it had been replaced. So this is like deprecated, and it had been replaced by something called software properties-common. And so I went into my server, I SSH'd into my server, and then I updated that using apt-get, and so that fixed it. I eventually got it to go away. But I'm confused why I would need to do that. So I go back in and I see Python MySQL DB, and I do some research on that. And I think this was also something that had been deprecated. So I'm like, how did everything get deprecated, and why is no one talking about this? And I'm so confused. And then it dawns on me, there was one other part of the process that had changed. Because if I don't update Bonsai, then nothing should change, right? I think all of my packages are like specific versions. It's all version control. So like none of the packages I'm using should change either. And then it dawns on me there was one part of the process, and this bug is specific to provisioning the server. So when I think about the servers, what has changed about the servers? Okay, DigitalOcean. I remember that when I went to go create a droplet, their dashboard right here for creating the droplet, it changed like since the last time I've been here. So I think in the past month it's changed with an updated design, and it looked pretty much the same. So I just thought the only thing that had changed was that basic used to be selected, and there was like a horizontal scrolling wheel, and you couldn't even see the cheaper plan. So like started and blocked you off somewhere around $15 a month, and then you could scroll to the left and select 5. This VPC network is newish. I don't know if that's brand new. That's the only thing that had changed. But then I look up here and I notice it says 20.04, and I'm like, that's new. I've never used that new of a version of Ubuntu, I don't think. So it dawns on me that there's this new default version of Ubuntu, and I don't think that's what we're looking for when we're working with Trellis and Bonsai. So I go to check on Trellis's requirements. And you will see what's included. Trellis will configure a server with the following and more: Ubuntu 18.04 Bionic LTS. For the entire life of me doing Roots projects that I've been doing it on DigitalOcean specifically, it's been about 5 years, I have never had to select which version of Ubuntu. It has always been the default, just base Ubuntu. And I think those days have changed. So I'm sure that Trellis will probably get updated to be supporting this shortly. But for now, I am pretty confident this is going to solve our issue. So instead of restarting from scratch, since I've already done that the last 2 days, let's see if we can get this to just fix it, and then we'll do it from scratch probably next week sometime. Since it is Friday, not gonna stream so long today. Okay, first things first, I want to delete this one. Oops. Destroy. Yes. And I'll just go over this quickly once again. You go to, in your DigitalOcean account, you go to create droplet. Base Ubuntu. You're going to change this to 18.04. Okay? Because that's what Trellis wants you to use. Bonsai uses Trellis to do a lot of things. So, what Trellis wants, Bonsai wants. 18.04. Come down here to basic, select $5 a month. Select probably the closest server to you or your end user. Add your SSH key. I cover that in the free tutorials on the website, bonsai.jackalope.io. And I'll just recreate this host name as Futur, the Futur staging. We'll enable backups later when we do the final project. I'm going to be recreating this project multiple times over the next few weeks. So we're also going to skip over security on this specific phase of the project. Okay, I'm going to put on some good tunes. If you're looking for some good tunes, Project Bonsai as usual, and as usual I will put a copy of this in the YouTube chat. I should just link it to the website somewhere, that'd be cool. There we go. You can find this Notion doc on bonsai.jackalope.io. It's under roadmap in the top of the website. I wish I could play this on YouTube, but I can't. So I'm going through my headphones. Okay, the playlist is now included. So this new droplet is now created. I'm going to come over and copy the IP address, and we can close out of this for now. All right, so we're just gonna go back over the checklist of everything, even though we're not redoing it all. I'll just look over my issues real quick. All right, so this new server is on Ubuntu. I'm gonna add that to the documentation later on Ubuntu 18.04. And none of this other stuff needs to be done yet. So first we have the quick setup. It's under the Bonsai LMS on Notion. Courses, quick setup. Okay, so we're just gonna uncheck all this stuff too, is make sure we've done it all. Yeah, obviously we've downloaded it. Install requirements, that's all done. And set up servers, so that's really all we need to focus on. Remove unnecessary VirtualBox machines. We're not going to be redoing the VirtualBox since the problem isn't the VirtualBox, the problem is the server. The problem was the server, hopefully. Then we're going to clear the known hosts. I think we've already got this up and running right now, so that's fine. And then clear etc. hosts, that's also yeah, I might clear it. Let me just check those out real quick. So let's come into sudo vim etc. hosts. It's gonna look like that. This is just a text editor and command line, don't be afraid. No, it needs 2 more dots. There we go. And we're going to replace this IP address right here with the new one from the server we just spun up. So you find the IP address right here, click copy. Then you're just going to replace it and paste it right here. Okay, escape, :WQ for right quit. And then we're going to do the same thing, but with our, let's see, we're taking care of etc. hosts, known hosts. Let's just look that over real quick. So that's going to be in our hidden .ssh directory and known underscore hosts. No, I spelled that wrong. And you see this IP address, we're just gonna delete that. Yeah, that's the old one. DD to do that in Vim editor. Right, quit. Okay. Those are all good. Name servers are good. We've created the staging droplet, and we've added our IP address to etc. host file. Now we're going to do the SSH configuration. So just follow along right here. I'm going to clean this up. We're going to go into, so sudo vim, just opening up the text editor, coming into our SSH config file. Then we can scroll to the bottom. Here's where I have this project. Just going to hit I so I can edit it. And host name stays the same. The IP address will update for the new server on Ubuntu 18.04, right? Okay. That's looking good. Now we just have resources, so we're done with the quick setup. Now we're going to come into configure Bonsai. We're leaving all of the configuration the same, I believe, but we're just going to double check over it, make sure we didn't miss anything. So GitHub repository should stay the same. Let's look over our trellis group vars. So same project, trellis, group vars. This is all Ansible stuff right here. Well, the only one we adjusted in all was users. That stays the same. Under development, we did WordPress sites. The future.test. That stays the same. That stays the same. Okay, this all stays the same. I just like to be very careful and meticulous when I'm going over the configuration files because that's the hardest part of this project. Just paying close attention. Okay. The other one would be under staging. And that looks good to me. So I don't think we need to change any of this. Ansible configuration. Okay, so now we're going to configure Bonsai. Let me just organize my windows a little bit up here. What is this? Oh, this is Trello, I think. Yeah. It's kind of crashed, it looks like. Come on, Trello. What's going on? Okay, I guess we'll be using the, I don't think we really need Trello right now, actually. I think Notion should have everything covered. Okay, so the group vars was looking good, the host files were looking good. We're gonna do security later, not today, since we're not going to production today. Configure WP CLI. I don't think there was any IP addresses in that, so that should stay the same. Let's just make sure. It's under site WP CLI. We have no IP addresses, so we're good. Now let's look over our scripts configuration. Go more into detail down here. Okay. Just under scripts, we have development. Okay, this would all stay the same. I don't see why spinning a new server and having a new IP would change any of this. So if you missed the configuration, we did that yesterday and the day before. We did it over again, so it'd be a little repetitive to do it today. Just gonna stick with what I have. And I'm trying to think if there's any steps that I would be missing before we reprovision the staging server. Okay, configuration's looking pretty good, I think. So then we create the local environment. What this really means is we come into scripts and we run development.sh. This runs Composer, which does like all the plugins and stuff. Then it vagrant ups, which is our local development environment. It's a virtual machine that's identical to our staging and production environments. Installs and activates our theme. Activates all of our plugins through the command line interface. Creates pages, posts, all the metadata for the blog. Starts installing forms and APIs. And you run this, it should give you this. There we go. So this is the boilerplate template version of Bonsai, which could be dummy data and a starter theme if somebody wanted to use it as such. Okay, so the local site's up and running. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we can close this for now. Now we deploy the staging site. So look at GitHub, see if there's any important changes we need to commit. Oh, I need to go back and change this. So this was when I was trying to debug this week's bug. Took 2 days of time. So this was under trellis, roles, common, defaults, main. And I forget where it was, but I know it was called common. Okay. So instead of software properties common, it was called Python software properties. Just going to change that back. Then that should eliminate the diff here. Yep. And once again, we don't have to worry about any changes in the scripts, because those aren't run from the repository. I could actually like ignore them if I wanted to, but I like having them there. All right, so since we have a new server, let's go ahead and check the DNS propagation. There's a link to that down here. And I'm just going to change this to whatever your A record is for the staging server. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to change that. So when you set your A records, gonna come into networking, come into the domain or add it, and then I already have one set up right here, but I'm going to point it towards the new server. And same with this one. All right, that should be good. Okay, so now we want to check, what was it? The future.jackalope.io. Okay. It looks like it's pretty much all done. So there's a couple missing locations, but we should be good. Okay. Now the only step left is to run the staging shell script. So if you're not in the correct directory, you could run this part of the script. That'll take you to the scripts. And then this last part runs the staging shell script. So as usual, before I run it, I'm just going to come back in here. I was playing around a little bit yesterday with adding one of these before the provision. I haven't been doing that in the past, so let's do it as we've had it. We might add that later if we need, because I don't think it would hurt. Okay, so this is just the A record that matches. And then this is the environment that we are deploying. This is the site name. We covered this in pretty great depth over the past couple of days, so go ahead and check out those live streams on YouTube. Admin email. For now, I'm just going to do Mason. That'll just be for testing purposes. Let me add that to development as well. Okay, now I just need my Gravity Forms activation key. And let's see, where's the quickest place I can grab that? Okay, I've got it right here. No peeking. I'm just gonna take this off screen for a second. All right, so now when I run it, it'll have my key. And I think that's looking good, so let's go ahead and run it. See what happens. Immediate failure. What was that? Swap file was not found. Huh, I've never seen that before. Okay, so if you need to troubleshoot the script, best way to do it is just line by line. So this first line here takes us into Trellis. Okay, now we're in Trellis. I just deleted the, okay, we'll recreate it anyways. Now we're going to add our keys, identity added, and now we're going to provision the server. Swap file was not found. Roles. Missing thesis sites, Bonsai master, Trellis. The error appears to be in Trellis server. Let's take a look at that file. Let's see what we can find. I have no idea what this file really does, so your guess is as good as mine. It's found on line 24, column 7. Swap file. Wordpress install limstack with PHP. Swap file. Okay. Next step is let's Google this on the Roots Discord or forum discourse. This is probably because I spun it up on a new server or something. I don't think that would fix my issue. I guess I'll try this, but I don't know if that's required anymore. This was from 2 years ago. something weird get deleted? Okay, it looks like requirements was renamed to Galaxy. So let's try rerunning this, but as galaxy.yaml. There we go. Okay. Now let's try running staging again. Or, yeah, let's go for it. It's working. Type yes. Oh no. All right. Just Google away. Google your little heart out. I'm hoping I find out where all these bugs are coming from. Usually I'll just start from a clean slate if I'm getting this many bugs. But I've thoroughly covered how to start from a clean slate at this point. Let's add discourse.roots to the equation. And unable to start. PHP 7. Failed because the control exit error code. Okay, let's see if that's the exact one it's pulling up. Okay, this was recent, so that's always good. But I do not see a solution. I've got PHP 7.3.11. Huh, somehow my PHP got downgraded. How does that happen? I have no idea. I mean, when did, update to 7.4 6 months ago. So my version's definitely doing that. Let's check, okay, we're gonna update to PHP 7.4. I think probably the best way to do that. Let's Google that real quick. Best way to update PHP Mac. It's probably either brew or pip. Homebrew. Okay. Update PHP homebrew. Brew is taking its sweet time to update, that's for sure. I wish brew update would give a verbose mode of like some log of what's going on. Does brew update usually take this long? Maybe while you're streaming. I'm gonna need to just a note for next time. I want to see how long it takes some people. I'm doing this, starting over just so I can see what's going on because it's really bugging me. Run it in verbose mode, just add that flag at the end. Okay, seems to be working. It's just gonna take some time. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back. So this bug doesn't seem to be getting any better. Why would it say PHP not installed? So this bug doesn't seem to get. PHP not installed. Okay, well, this exact error. Oh wow, you just run that. And have you tried installing it first? Brew install PHP. I don't know if I've done PHP through Brew before, so this might be a fix. Because clearly I don't think it's installed through Homebrew. But I need to go to 7.4 apparently. Hopefully that fixed the bug. You never know. You never know. Or maybe with Catalina, I need to set up some alias right here. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Those errors aren't making me feel too good. Download failed. Building from source. Transient problem. Another fail. Yeah. Is this what it's supposed to look like? Because this does not look good. Still on 7.3. PHP not installed. Brew upgrade PHP. That easy, huh? Okay, I'm gonna see how to do this without Homebrew. Mac OS Sierra, no. PHP.NET doesn't seem like it's updated that often. Let me try this as well. One last try for Homebrew. I should have ran in verbose again. What was the verbose? Double hyphen? Yeah. I guess I'm gonna cancel that because I think it's actually the PHP version on my server. Yeah. I don't want to update my PHP version locally yet. I don't think so. Let's see if it did anything yet. Oh, great. Okay. What was I on? 7.3.11. I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to try updating PHP on my server. Huh. Yeah, because this is all server requirements, not local requirements. Do I want to be on 7.4? I'll try it. I hope it doesn't break anything. Oh shit, no, I want to verbose mode again. There we go. Okay, it's still pulling up here, so I think we're good actually. Maybe I'll have two versions of PHP running. Hopefully that doesn't interfere, but if it does, I'll just remove the homebrew one. So let's go into our server. Gonna SSH into it. Looks like Homebrew's PHP might be working as well. Okay, so this, let's see if we can pull up a PHP version here. We're on 7.4, so we should be good there. I don't think this bug is actually related to the PHP version like I thought. So, where are we at? Where are we at now? I'll try the provision again. In verbose mode. Let's see if it gives us any more clues. Wants us to add the known hosts again. Okay, we'll try that again. Okay, it's probably not good, recommended, or safe to be updating my version of PHP while I'm provisioning the server. I don't think it affects it, but I guess we'll see. Thirsty. Stay thirsty, my friends. Alright, I'm just gonna hang out while it does its thing for a minute. I think this appears to be working now. Guess we'll see. I'll stick around for a minute. All right. So we successfully provisioned. That's a really good sign. I'll have to go back and review this video because I have no idea how that suddenly got fixed. I'm in the process of adding PHP 7.4, but it's not switched over to my main version of PHP yet. I'm still using 7.3.11. So I don't think I really changed anything. I looked at the GitHub and I only changed some things in the script. That shouldn't affect it. So that makes no sense. I don't like it when things just randomly start working. I would almost have to figure out a solution that I know what it is. But if it's working, it's working. I suspect that streaming while I'm doing this has caused some like timeout issues because it's really slow on my computer and my connection down. But other than that, let's just keep going. We're going to be respinning this entire project multiple times anyways. So if it is a real bug, then it'll pop up again. So let's keep moving forward for the time being. We're just going to come into... Oh, there was that one thing I fixed. That was earlier though, I think, when I changed, when I did the Galaxy requirements. Let's see if I even still have that command pulled up. No, it was before brew. No, it was after I did that. Maybe it was over here. Either way, it should be in here somewhere. That's why it's nice to have a history. Yeah, so it was this. Let's pull up issues. And we'll add that just in case. I'll add that to the scripts. So it won't need to be a step. It'll just do it automatically. Quick setup. This will be in create local environment. And then this had updated to, it's now called Galaxy.yaml. Okay, I'll add that later, but for now, let's come into, or I guess I'll be adding that now to this project. No, we don't want Bonsai test. On the Futur. No, we don't need that in development. We need it in, what the hell? No. Not a link. This is going to be in staging and production. Okay. Provision staging server. I wonder if we can run this before the provision. We'll test it out there. I'll clean up these comments later. Okay. So now we have successfully provisioned. I'm going to comment that out of the script. And now we're just going to rerun the script and see what we get. So I'm going to come back into my scripts directory. And I'm going to run staging.sh, and as usual, even though I just looked at it, just gonna look things over. Okay, I need to add my key again. I'll just pull this off screen for a second and then save it. Site scripts. It's in my development. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Okay, I saved that in there. So now it's good to run. Okay, so now we should be deploying. Looks like it's getting started, so that's good. What do we have here? Okay, let me just stop this from running. Okay, I don't think I've ever run one from the actual organization before, from the GitHub. So if you see right here, I'm running this from jackalope.io as the organization, and then the GitHub's on that. I'm gonna bring it back to, let's see if I can change it from GitHub. That might be the easiest. Oh yeah, I can open the repository really easily just by opening up GitHub and then Shift Command G. If we come into settings, oh, this one's Mason and Thesis the Future. Okay, so this is good. It's just, I have the wrong URL set up in, if we come into group vars, staging, there's a GitHub URL right here, and I've already changed it back to Mason and Thesis, but I just need that to reflect in the configuration. So here we have staging. Let's also do that. Okay, we haven't configured production yet, so that doesn't matter. And then development, there's no GitHub URL. So I think that should fix it. That was kind of a unique thing. I don't think I really need to document that, because most people aren't publishing to organizational GitHub pages. Okay, let's try that one more time. I don't really need to update that in GitHub because Trellis runs from the local machine. So Trellis isn't really reflected in the GitHub repository, at least not when you're deploying something. It's just using it as a script. So we'll run staging again. And I think it should work this time, but I'm just gonna mute myself and hang out for a minute. If it keeps going, then I'll probably go take a break out in the hammock. All right. So the deployment worked without a flaw. And now we're getting some type of SSH configuration error. So let's check that out. Okay. I'm just going to hide these down here so that I don't have to keep doing that. Okay. So the deployment worked, and then we went into scripts. We ran the let's just try this. Which WP, and if we do we just run this command, cannot connect over SSH using provided configuration. So next thing we'll want to do is take a look at our WP CLI, and I'm not even seeing it here. Oh, this is Trellis. Okay. Duh. Staging the future.jackalope.io. We could try this as the host name instead of the A record name. So let's try the future dash staging. And let's try running that command again. And it looks like it's working this time. Hopefully. Yep. Okay, so then we could either, we'll want to remember to do that here as well. So I'm just going to put host name. We're not using that yet, so I'll leave the placeholder, and then we could, all we have to do is run these two, so. Am I on the right project? Huh. Scripts, let's look at production. I don't know, oh, okay. That's why everything else is missing. Okay. So let me take care of these keys again off screen. Just gonna find my key in here, copy paste it. So now it's just going to run the rest of that script towards the bottom. I'm going to comment out the deployment, and I can also comment out these two. So basically we're just running the last end of the script right now. Come back into scripts and run staging.sh. And there is a database migration at the bottom that I've commented out. Right here. Since this script is creating the exact database that, oh no, I do want to run this actually. So to simplify the process, other than creating the exact same database that we just created over here in development, I've just included a database migration at the end here. So we're going to run sync.sh development staging. That means taking the development database and overwriting the staging database with that by migrating it. So once this is complete, we'll run that. Permission denied. Okay. When that happens, let's see, I think we come into, yeah, let's just come into the courses. I have a little shortcut to fix this because we added the sync script later. I don't think we've run it yet. So I'm just going to want to run chmod-r777 again. I did this yesterday, but I think the sync script is new since then. So let's try that again. And before I run that, let's just take a look at sync script real quick. And okay, instead of doing the A record here again, I'm going to do the host name. So we'll do the Futur -staging. And once again up here, I'm going to add just a placeholder until we create that server. Okay, so this should be good to go now. Permission denied again? Okay, I don't know why that time it worked. But you can specify the specific file you want to give those permissions to. That's what the chmod command does. So yes, we are going to really reset the staging database and sync up from development. It only did a couple things. That was a pretty simple migration. Okay. Now for the test, we go to the future.jackalope.io. Bam! Alright, so now we've got this working. All the bugs are sorted out. They should be at least. So we got here. I'm going to do most of the customizations next week after I redo this all. I'd like to redo it without any hiccups at all. And I'll do that until it works just seamlessly. And I'll do that multiple times if I have to. So next week we're going to start again. We're going to start from scratch this time and get the staging environment developed, deployed, up and running, and we might even do that for the production environment, and then we can start testing that. So it's been a successful week. This was my first week live streaming. I'm going to be doing it for the next 98 days, so feel free to come drop in and hang out with me. All right, peace out, guys.